Okej, jestem na live'ie po raz kolejny. Jest, dobra. Napiszcie mi ci, którzy są. Ja przy okazji dam jeszcze zawiadomienie tutaj na Facebooku, jakby co, że jestem, że teraz jest live związany ze 3, znaczy z tym. Ci, co jeszcze na Facebooku na przykład nie śpią, albo właśnie jeszcze nie idą spać, napiszę teraz tylko na Facebooku, że już jest. Tylko o właśnie jeszcze wstawię linka. Choroba jasna. Udostępnij. Kopiuj link. Skopiowano. Facebook. Star Wars jest. Wklej. Live. 3. Trwa. Film. Zapraszamy. OK. No i git, to chyba wystarczy. Przy okazji zaraz włączymy linka. Tutaj witam z powrotem, witam Cię Ozzy. Czy poczekaj chwilę. Link do oryginału to już można skasować. Usunie. Wytnij. Jest. Teraz YouTube. Xbox Daily, nie. God of War, nie. Live at 3, dobra, niech będzie to.
Beyond Good and Evil, maybe do a fresh start. We don't know what
Sony
gameplay looks like, but we
Conference.
can tell you
Okej,
based on
dobra.
what the last game was. It was an open world game
Najpierw
where you played as a main character
zrobimy
who
to tak.
basically did a mix between combat, exploration, and photography. So basically documenting the world. Think
Sony
about the way, like,
pre-show,
you know, Breath of the
Sony
Wild works in terms
Mania,
of taking
Dishonored,
pictures of weird,
Wolfenstein.
crazy stuff all over the land.
Dobra, share.
Yeah, I'm curious just based on how many kind of different characters are moving around here, if we're going to see sort of like a
Kopiuj.
Destiny type of game where it's all about teamwork and collaboration and cooperation, or if it's going to be, story-driven narrative. In any case, like,
Dobra.
we know that Ubisoft can make gorgeous
git.
open world games and games
Jest-
that have people
jest-
playing
jest-
online
jest- jest
together.
git.
What we haven't seen is them doing that with
Zaczynamy.
swearing animals with like cyberpunk appendages.
Yeah, and I think what's great about this is that it's got that signature sense of humor that the
Sony
original Beyond Good and
pre-show.
Evil has. And I think a lot of open world games now, and especially a lot of
Dobra.
the Ubisoft ones, they kind of tend to take themselves a little bit seriously. You look at like the Division, you look at Assassin's Creed, and in this one, just like you said, open world, it's just got insane animals just cursing at each other, and that's the thing, right? Like the original game, I don't really think it was something that would lean towards mature audiences. But
Dobra,
if we're
także
going with the fans of that,
żeby nie
maybe
było,
it's been long
bo
enough that they're okay with
żebym, jeśli dojdzie ktoś nowy, witam was bardzo serdecznie. Ja jestem Maciej z kanału Star Wars. Witam was bardzo serdecznie. Ja jestem Maciej z kanału Star Wars.pl. Mam nadzieję, że oglądacie z nami tego live'a i będziecie go z nami. Zaraz, bo mi się coś zacięło. Mam nadzieję, że oglądacie z nami tego live'a, mam nadzieję, że wam się podoba, mam nadzieję, że zostaniecie z nami do końca oraz, że ten live się zapisze. Oglądamy live'a już w sumie od 22, a jest 1:54. Za 6 minut zacznie się konferencja Sony, czyli moja najbardziej oczekiwana konferencja tego roku. No i co? Dzisiaj oglądaliśmy konferencję Ubisoftu, już oglądaliśmy konferencję Bethesdy zmieszaną z konferencją Microsoftu, którą możecie znaleźć już, teraz jest zapisana na YouTubie, na naszej stronie starwars.pl. No i za chwilę oglądamy konferencję Sony. Mam nadzieję, że zostaniecie z nami, że będziecie z nami oglądać, że będziemy się dobrze bawić, że dacie mi łapki w dół, bo na razie widzę jedną łapkę w górę. Jak to możliwe? No i oczywiście będziemy komentować. Za chwilę wybieramy naszego moderatora, więc możecie do czasu konferencji Sony głosować na kogo tylko chcecie, kto może zostać moderatorem. Mam nadzieję, że ty zostaniesz moderatorem, ty, który mnie właśnie oglądasz. Oczywiście zasady są proste, nie można głosować na siebie. Ci, którzy chcą, żeby na nie głosować, niech zgłoszą swoją kandydaturę na naszym czacie na żywo. Ja zaprezentuję, będę czytać wasze komentarze, no i będziemy tak się bawić. I przy okazji wybierzemy tego moderatora na dzisiaj. Także zapraszam bardzo serdecznie. Pyk.
Original 2009 Avatar the Game from Ubisoft.
That classic.
Yeah, that's one of the weird things people forget is that Ubisoft already made an Avatar game and it wasn't great. And you know, Massive's an interesting developer, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. But I mean, 2020, that's next gen, right?
A jak nie ma innych osób, przynajmniej takich, które coś piszą, to na kogo mogę zagłosować? XD.
Oh boy. So yeah, we gotta look at
Nie wiem.
Starlink.
Yeah. You and I immediately kind of geeked out about that because it's very
Mogę wam
odd to see
powiedzieć,
a
żebyście
video
się
game
nie
controller and
wstydzili.
then a bunch of toys kind of stacked in and around it on top of it. This looks like the exact kind of game I would have gone insane for as a 14-year-old kid. As an adult, I have toys all over my desk, so I don't know who I'm trying to fool. But this looks interesting. It seems a little bit late
Ale
for
nie
the
mogę
toy
się
select
doczekać,
genre, especially
naprawdę.
launching in late 2018. But I'm interested in it. It's got a bunch of
Trochę
really
ciszę.
cool moving parts, both literally, physically, and sort of in the game. But it felt
Jak ja się cholernie nie mogę doczekać tej konferencji, ja wszystkiego oczekuję po tym, naprawdę. To nie jest tak jak z Microsoftem, że podchodzę pozytywnie, ja po prostu muszę dostać to, co chcę dostać i koniec. Chcę dostać naprawdę dużo. Ta konferencja to będzie moje życie.
It looks like a cross between No Man's Sky
Wiesz, jakbyś
and
dał mi moda, w
Skylanders
sumie to bym się nie
Imagineers,
obraził, nie
and
widzę
the fact that it's
głosów
coming out,
sprzeciwu.
you know, a year and a
Ozzy
half
XD.
now doesn't really fill me with the most,
Powiem ci tak, Ozzy, jeżeli nikt nie zgłosi swojej kandydatury do live'a, to znaczy do konferencji Sony, to ci już dam tego moderatora, okej? Okay.
Make Marty eat his mug.
Eat the mug, Marty. No, but this is, I mean, it looks interesting. I'm curious, is this the same game that you had to hack into the offices in Watch Dogs 2 to see a leaked screenshot of?
Kind of. I hope they let us build tiny drones and stuff like that. What did you think of the sort of universes in this game? Because they felt a little bit Star Wars, but like obviously a lot more sort of rounded and polished off and goofy.
I mean, it's not
Sprawdzam na razie inne linki związane ze 3. Może znajdziemy od razu z samą konferencją, nie z IGN-em.
An actual gameplay demo, it looked like too much sizzle, not enough steak, which is frequently the case with these things, but it wasn't particularly like, you know, visually mind-blowing. There wasn't, aside from the toys being put on the Switch, it's not something that I haven't ever seen before.
That said, I think like companies like Ubisoft and EA, they get a lot of flack from gamers for being sort of derivative and putting out annual franchises and sequels and stuff like that. But we saw a lot of new IPs from these guys this year, and Ubisoft was no exception. We get just a few seconds of Just Dance, which is usually a whole segment we have to deal with, but this was mostly focused on big, cool new games, and this is one of them. And regardless of whether or not this pans out to be something that we're all playing, they're all dumping hundreds of dollars into these interchangeable
Chyba nie ma innych
parts.
linków, ale
In the
dobra,
meantime,
to nam
we get to see
wystarczy.
something cool and interesting and unique.
Yeah, and if nothing else, we got a Beyond Good and Evil
A i
trailer.
przy okazji mówię, że konferencja Sony miała być o 3:00, ale się zacznie o 2:00.
And that was kind of it.
Bo tak ktoś stwierdził. I dla mnie to nawet lepiej, bo będę mógł spać wcześniej. Spokojnie, nie jesteście sami, panowie. O, jednak ktoś jest.
Thanks a lot, Brian and Max. Okay, now it is time for a few video game icons and classic 2D gameplay. We've got two Sonic games to check out, Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania. Marty Sleeve and I are ready to see both with Aaron Weber. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much. Good to be here.
Ja chcę zobaczyć Sony, ja chcę zobaczyć Spidermana, The Last of Us, Final Fantasy 7 i coś tam jeszcze i Gwiezdne Wojny i Cyberpunk, prawdopodobnie Cyberpunk.
And Sonic Mania is being built by
Chcę
fans.
zobaczyć wszystko. Na tej konferencji chcę zobaczyć po prostu wszystko.
They've got this certain level of passion that you're not going to find anywhere else, right? It's like when you
Nerien, na co
start
czekasz
a video game,
najbardziej?
when you're
Właśnie
doing
Nerien,
this
na
thing
co
and
czekasz
think
najbardziej?
about it. That's the kind of people that make something really special because they put the extra love into it. And that's what Sonic Mania is really about.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic, especially core 2D Sonic games as a whole, have been around long enough to where, you know, kids who grew up on them are now in their 20s, 30s, and so they are
That's
getting
exactly
jobs in
right.
the games industry, and so they're taking
Ludzie,
that thing they played so much as a kid, and then
czemu
all of a
jeszcze
sudden
nie
the,
śpicie?
you know, roles reverse, and they're the creators.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's kind of cool because on
Nie
one
mów mi, jak
hand,
mam
you
żyć,
get to be
frajerze.
part of something very special in that sense, right? You get to be part of creating this new Sonic game. And on the other hand, you want to also kind of be true to what came before. And so it's a really cool sort of duality. duality to Sonic Mania that the developers have done here. It's Christian Whitehead. It's the guy that did the mobile remasters for Sonic 1 and 2 and CD. He did a great job, and we're like, well, instead of having this guy do mobile remasters forever, why do we make new content, like new 2D content? Because we knew a lot of people would want to see that.
So what is there? I mean, game design as a whole has changed a lot in the past 25 years. What do you have to do in order to keep the essence of Sonic that people loved in like the early 90s, but still like have it really accessible to people in 2017?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. It's one that I know even you guys at IGN are like constantly debating, like what makes a good Sonic game, right? And I have a great time watching those videos, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. From the social media side, we love watching that stuff. So, one thing that I think is really key about Sonic is he's known for his speed, right? But when it comes to the 2D games, it's important to remember that it wasn't just about going fast. We love the catchphrase "Gotta go fast." We put it on our Twitter channel all the time. We love Sonic, but it's important to remember that the original Sonic games were about speed as a reward, right? Here we go. We can take a look at some footage here. So the games are a bit about like platforming as well. It's not just about running fast blindly.
To już? Szczerze, od Sony to akurat na nic. Pewnie zhejtujecie, ale jedynie o czym jakoś tak szczególnie marzyłem to DA od BioWare. DA? To już? Znaczy, wiesz, zobaczę jeszcze dokładnie jak to jest. Na Sony, na stronie Sony pisali, że już. Ale jeszcze zobaczymy, tutaj przejrzę. Sony.
So for real, I feel like the chemical plant in Sonic 2 was the first time I had a panic attack, and I was like a child. Was it the drowning music? The way the music would just get bump, 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 bump.
Yes.
That was the first real terror I faced probably in my entire life.
That's, in my opinion, one of the world's best alarm clocks.
Yes.
By the way, you will be up and hitting that alarm real fast.
I don't like that at all.
You mentioned the music. How are you going about recreating the feel and sound of the original music?
Okay, this is cool too.
PlayStation
So
Polska znajdziemy.
every aspect of Sonic Mania is being touched upon by fans who have become professionals in one way or another. The art, the updated
Książę o
pixel
trzeciej w nocy
sprites
czasu
done by
polskiego,
an
ale to było
artist
jeszcze
who
przed
loves
nami.
Sonic and is now working on that. Like that opening animation where Sonic pops
Transmisja
up
na
and spins
żywo.
around that we put in the reveal trailer. He built that
Kliknę
over
na
2
to.
weeks before our reveal last year.
Może będzie.
The music is the same way. There's a guy called T. Lopes. He started actually doing fan remixes.
Rozpocznie się za 2 minuty i 12 sekund. 11, 10, 9, 8.
Appetizer platter of things from each of the classic Sonic games in terms of world motifs and sort of abilities and hooks. How did you go about looking past, into the original Sonic games and picking and choosing what you wanted to bring in this one and how you wanted to tweak it?
Yes, okay, this part was remarkably hard. Because you look at like Sonic 1 and Sonic 2
A teraz znowu 2 minuty i 41 sekund. Pewnie teraz będzie takie odliczanie, bo będą niby mieli się spóźnić, ale będą wcześniej, więc teraz trochę jakieś to będzie takie, wiecie, takie gadanie. Pierniczenie o Chopinie teraz będzie takie po prostu. No dobra, ja jakoś nie narzekam, skoro mamy mieć o prawie godzinę szybciej konferencję.
Brand new levels like Studiopolis or Mirage Saloon, both which we may have already shown in the background or are going to be showing, right? And so those are places that haven't shown up in any Sonic games.
Ja tam na The Last of Us 2 czekam. Ozzy pisze, nie żebym wierzyła w coś dobrego z ich strony, ale to sentyment do mojego pierwszego RPG. Dla mnie moim pierwszym RPG, znaczy JRPG był właśnie Final Fantasy VII i mam nadzieję na ten remake wreszcie zobaczyć coś nowego, bo 2 lata temu mówili o Final Fantasy VII remake, miał być. Był zwiastun, ale w rok temu nic nie mówili, teraz mam nadzieję, że coś będzie.
So this is a new Sonic game. We're not looking at Sonic 1, 2, or 3 right here.
No, exactly. And so like this spike bridge right there, it's a reference to the original Sonic game. You can do other cool things. Like if we get that fire shield.
That's definitely Sonic 3.
Which is from Sonic 3, exactly. If we run that fire shield.
Wow, oglądamy Sonika na konferencji Sony. Kto z was grał w Sonika? Dajcie mi informację. Czy byliście Sonika?
a little bit similar to what you remember, but has some new stuff. And then
Czy
it
macie
has
jakieś
two
wspomnienia
that
z
is totally
Soniciem?
different
Yeah.
from what you're
I
expecting.
like the idea of sort of luring fans in with the familiar, and then it's not a bait and switch, but then giving them something totally unexpected, or melding in these moments from several games at once to be like, oh, I
Boże
haven't had
kochany.
to do this before.
Yeah.
Like, let me figure out what to do right now.
Yeah,
Co
exactly.
to za gra?
And it's for us, it's
Co
kind
za
of cool
szatański
because the
pomysł.
proof is really it's there. Like you have a developer like Christian Whitehead who has proven he can not only take the originals, but when he made those mobile remasters, he actually improved the games on like Sonic 1 and 2 and CD.
Kuźwa,
And so
co
you
to
take his
jest?
stuff and you go,
Co
"All
tu
right,
się
we got this guy
dzieje?
so passionate. Let's see what he can do when they're making new content, right?
Ile
You have
się
an
tu
entire team,
dzieje?
a guy called Christian, Simon, and a team called Pagoda West are the three groups that are making this happen. And each of those guys so passionate, so they add all these elements from different Sonic games and splice it together. This is a cool moment. All right, this is the first boss, the first real
Okay.
boss in the game. It's a
This looks
throwback.
scarier than, well, this seems like an endgame boss right now.
It was
Yeah.
actually. This was
Orson
the final
Krennic.
boss from Sonic 2,
Yeah.
and we just kind of revealed it.
Dyrektorze.
recently that this was the very first boss in the
Dyrektor
game. So
Krennic.
good.
Witam
As
cię
you play,
bardzo
you go,
serdecznie,
"Oh, yes,
Kreniku.
Green
O
Hills,
rany,
I
jak miło mi cię
remember
gościć.
strolling about the beautiful hillsides.
Ja kiedyś grałem na mojej starej PSP. Elo Krenik. Jak tam Krenik, jak się spało, bo prawdopodobnie zgaduję, że trochę spałeś sobie przed konferencją Sony. My sobie byliśmy na konferencji Ubisoftu, Bethesdy, Microsoftu po raz kolejny i jakoś się średnio bawiłem ja na przykład. Tylko może nieliczne 3 gry mi się wryły w pamięć, więc tylko tyle. Ale mam nadzieję, że tobie dobrze się spało.
I can't really go into detail, but I can tell you we are certainly considering all of that kind of stuff as far as the full game is concerned. To us, it is very important that you have that full experience, right? And so bonus stages are a key
Dajcie
part of
mi
that.
tego pierdzielonego... O właśnie, ej ludzie!
Well,
Zapomniałem o jednym!
you know anybody that works at Riot?
We'll talk after this.
Okay, all right.
So Sonic Mania is a
Red Dead fucking Redemption 2. Była zapowiedź w listopadzie. Co powiecie na trailer? Na konferencji Sony? Gdzie GTA zawsze było reklamowane? O mój Boże! O mój Boże! Dobra, Maciek, nie napalaj się, nie napalaj się. Może pokażą, może nie. Ale jeśli pokażą... O Jezu.
Together. And even though the camera really only follows the first player, right? The second player can come in as
Sony,
Tails, help you
zróbcie
get
taką
items. The cool
jazdę.
thing about Tails is Tails can die as much as they want, and it doesn't penalize you. So there's that joke in the Sonic community that Tails can never die.
I like to think that's canonical. Like he's like.
Było coś ciekawego? Nie spałem, ale miałem nadzieję, że wytrwam w imię Imperium.
Has been forever.
Ulfenstein, jakaś gra o piratach z Ubisoftu i w sumie tyle. Jakiś serial z Shia LaBeoufem, znaczy nie Shia LaBeoufem, tylko z Frodem z Władcy Pierścieni. Z Aliahem Woodem. O kurde bele, Red Dead Redemption 2, racja, kompletnie zapomniałem. Ja też o nim. O kurde, oj, South Park był też super. South Park był genialny. Ale Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Tried to put it in one of the past mobile remasters, didn't work, and he's like, all right, we're making a new game, we're gonna make this thing happen. And so they built this level. There are posters here. This is Mirage Saloon. There are posters around of wanted posters that have faces of past Sonic characters on them that are kind of like
Sony, zniszcz konkurencję. Zniszcz wszystkich, naprawdę, błagam cię. Zniszcz wszystkich.
Was that for one of the stranger Sonic Sega consoles?
Yeah,
okay,
it was
like 32X.
It was a weird one. It was in the arcades even, and so then they ported. It was on like a GameCube collection later, and it was a fighting thing, believe it or not. And there's a couple characters from that game that even show up.
Wstyd mi, że mogłem zapomnieć o takiej grze jak RDR 2. I to od Rockstara. Ej, bo w sumie... Bo w sumie ostatnio Rockstar trochę działa więcej, bo nie wiem, czy zauważyliście, Rockstar zapowiedział po tak długim czasie nowy dodatek do GTA 5 na online, jakiś taki fabularny. Więc może teraz czas na Reda. Red Dead fucking Redemption 2. Dobra, Maciek, nie napalaj się, nie napalaj się.
Team wanted to do is say, so Sonic and Knuckles, right? What would be the next step after Sonic and Knuckles?
I see.
If this was like a 2D platform that maybe ran on the Sega Saturn,
Ale
that's
będzie
actually the level that they are going for. So the Sega
jazda.
Saturn is kind of the bar that they are trying to stick to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
pretty
speak
cool.
my language. Yeah. Are you utilizing the power of the Xbox One X?
Yes.
Well, as you can see, the
Built for
graphics are
4K.
very intense.
Yeah.
And really the only way to play it is in 4K.
Ozi
Otherwise
XD,
those
ponoć
pixels
Bully
get
2
really
może
messed
wyjść.
up.
Plotki są takie, w sumie fajnie by było, część pierwsza była
So
bardzo
what's-
fajna.
what's-
Ja też,
what's
nawet
the
mam
thing
dalej
that
to na
gets you the most
PlayStation 2.
excited about
I dalej w to
Sonic
gram i
Oh
jest bardzo
man,
fajne.
can I say all of it? But
Yeah.
so the graphics are awesome because it's a throwback. The controls are perfect because as someone who cares a lot, like I grew up playing Sonic games, right? It's important that classic Sonic feels like it controls right. Christian and his team have made sure that it is spot on, right? If not improved it in some ways.
O
The
kurde,
music is
błagam
great.
cię,
Like it's the
błagam
entire
cię,
package. And what
wszelaki
I'm most
twórco
excited for is
YouTube'a,
playing through it
zostaw
and
mi
seeing those new
tę
experiences and then
konferencję.
getting to watch our fans as they
Możesz
play it
usunąć
and
każdą
play,
inną,
put it on
ale
YouTube
zostaw
or
mi
stream it,
konferencję
and to watch their
Sony,
reactions when they get to those
jeżeli mają
moments
być
that we
takie
hit in the
boskie
game,
gry,
just to
jeżeli
see what they do.
będą,
Yeah.
naprawdę.
That is Sonic Mania. We
Zrobię
have to take a quick
wszystko,
break,
tylko
but we will
zostaw
be
mi
right
ten
back with
film.
more Sonic
Nie
after
blokuj
this.
go. Chyba się zaczyna. W trzech tu siedzimy, gdzie reszta? Gdzie śmietanka galaktyki? 8 osób jest. 8 osób nas ogląda. Granik.
We wanted to build a premium console, the most powerful console ever made. We looked at 4K, true 4K, a
A nie,
console
jeszcze
that
się nie
could really
zaczyna.
run games at 4K. That was
Znaczy,
our
3
design
osoby
point. That was our
komentują,
premium
4 w sumie.
experience for the premium gamer.
I ja jestem
Xbox One
prowadzącym,
S is a
ale
great
jeszcze jest
console
kolejne
for
4
people who are
osoby,
looking for their
które
first
oglądają
console.
nas po prostu.
So we really
I
started
oczywiście
with the
pozdrawiamy te
design
osoby.
spec and wanted to make sure that we hit
Zapraszamy
something
również do
that truly
komentowania i
defined
pisania
what I think a 4K
swoich przeżyć
console
związanych z
feels
PlayStation
like,
czy
and I
innymi
feel really
konsolami.
great about
Czy jesteście
what we have in the
gamerami?
box. I don't
Czy
think
czegoś się
Xbox
spodziewacie
One X has a
po tej
competitor
konferencji
in terms of
Sony?
power and
Czego
performance
chcecie?
in the
Jakie
console
macie
space.
plany w
But I
związku z
wanted
nią?
people to understand,
Piszcie.
we showed 42 games on stage, 22 with console exclusivity today, that if you're
Nic nie piszą.
jumping in at the S console and buying games, those games are going to stay with you if and when you decide you want to move to the premium experience of Xbox One X. We saw games that are going to run at 60 frames per second, because I know for certain people that's really important. We opened the show with Forza, which will be a great 4K 60 games. There's other games in there that'll be running at 60. We showed games like Ori, which are very stylized with a depth. I thought that just beautiful what they were able to put on screen. And then you follow that up with Anthem. I mean, a partner
Anthem,
of ours for
to
a
jest
long
dobra
time
gra.
at EA. Patrick was in our video last year when we announced Project Scorpio. And what we showed in Crackdown was not some kind of CG trailer. This thing looks good enough that I think people are going to question whether that's really people playing the game. You know, they had their timing with the song and stuff that they wanted to go do. I kind of wanted people to know what it feels like to play a Crackdown game, because there's some people that don't remember that. And I thought it looked like a current generation Crackdown. Getting Terry Crews in, I thought was awesome.
In fact, it's only just begun.
I'm so excited to have
Boże,
that as
to
a
oni
launch
tak
game. I think that's
przedłużają,
where we see
mogliby już
from frame
zacząć.
rate
No to wiesz, no w sumie nie
resolution,
przedłużają,
you're
bo
gonna see people take the
konferencja
most
miała się
powerful
zacząć na
console
trzecią.
that's ever been created in really
Więc
interesting ways.
nawet jeżeli będzie o 2:30, to i tak będzie lepiej niż jak na trzecią, no nie?
I mean, where we're really seeing developer interest is on the Windows platform. And we're just finding that family room experience as we've been trying it out, and that it's better in a desk environment, it's better and closer to my PC environment. And I really want to respond to what the gamers are asking us to do. And where I'm seeing the developer interest, and usually gamer interest follows on Windows, that's our focus right now. As a company, we're big believers in mixed reality.
Ale mnie plecy
If and when it comes to the family room environment, I want to make sure it's right. I want to recognize that some people have been with us along the way, and I think that's important.
IGN is the world's #1 media brand for video games and entertainment. From breaking news and brand new trailers to reviews, let's plays, and the latest tips and tricks, IGN brings you the videos you crave everywhere you watch. Whether you're on the IGN
A
app,
właśnie, ma jeszcze powstawać jakaś gra
Xbox,
od
YouTube,
Capcomu, z
Facebook,
Marvela,
Snapchat, or
czy coś w tym stylu?
IGN.com, IGN's got you
Może
covered
to
on
może
everything
to nam
you care
pokażą.
about. IGN, the #1 source for video game fans worldwide.
The biggest entertainment event of the year is almost here, and we got your all access pass. IGN live from San Diego Comic-Con. World premiere trailers and breaking news as it happens. The biggest stars and the world's best cosplay. IGN live from Comic-Con. Coverage starts July 19.
O, jeszcze San Diego Comic-Con będę wam realizować na live. Od razu wam mówię, że będę Comic-Con w San Diego dla was na żywo pokazywać. Bo jest dużo newsów, dużo trailerów filmowych i to fajnie by było pokazać wam.
Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific.
Did you know that IGN has an app that gives you all the tools you love right in the palm of your hands? It's fast, and you can save videos and articles for later, check your personalized feed, or check out all the latest reviews. Download it now on the iOS or Android App Store.
Spider-Man! 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 Pokażcie datę premiery i niech będzie w tym roku. Błagam. Zaczyna się? Właśnie zaczyna. Sony! Dajcie mi to. Dajcie mi to.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3. We just got a hands-on look at
Czekam na live z
Sonic
Comic-Conu.
Mania, and now
No
we're
mam
going
nadzieję.
hands-on
O
with
XD.
Sonic
A
Forces.
kiedy Comic-Con jest tak
Being
dokładnie?
joined
W
once
lipcu,
again
ale
by
nie wiem
Aaron
kiedy
Weber.
dokładnie. Pewnie w
Now,
połowie.
whereas
A,
Sonic
okej,
Mania is
dzięki.
the new throwback Sonic Forces is a more modern take on the game, is that right?
That's exactly right. So Sonic Mania, a very 2D, retro style game being developed by
Skoro
Sega
obiecałem
in
wam,
collaboration
że
with
to będzie
fans,
mój ostatni
and
live przed
developers. Sonic
wakacjami,
Forces is the new game from Sonic Team.
to może
It's being developed on a brand new engine called the Hedgehog
zrobię jakiegoś
Engine 2,
live'a
and
na
it involves
24
what
godziny na
fans and
pierwszy
critics
dzień
alike said
wakacji.
they liked most from 3D Sonic games. So in particular, that's stuff like Sonic
Akurat
Colors
przed
and Sonic
wyjazdami.
Generations for 3D Sonic.
Na
We've
pierwszy
added
dzień
in classic
wakacji chyba
Sonic
fajnie by
from
było,
Sonic
gdybym
Generations,
zrobił
and
jakiegoś
for the
takiego
first time,
live'a na
fans can
24
create their
godziny.
own unique character and customize it and customize the way it plays as they go throughout the game.
Okay, so tell us, like,
Ale
give
musisz
us a little
wszystko
bit of
obmyślić
detail about that.
i
How does that work?
poplanować, rozplanować, zobaczyć jak to by wyszło w ogóle. Ale fajnie by było zrobić takiego live'a wreszcie na 24 godziny. W którym na przykład bym grał albo oglądał coś w tym stylu.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing because I think the team in Japan
Ogólnie
was
jedziesz gdzieś
partly
na wakacje?
inspired
Nie, bo
by
mnie
the
nie
amount of
stać.
creativity that exists
Chyba, że
within
mnie
the Sonic
dziewczyna
fan
zabierze do
base.
siebie do Krakowa,
There's a lot
to
of people
wtedy,
out there
tak.
that have very talented abilities when it comes to creating their own characters. And as far as the internet's concerned, sometimes we see
No,
the
na
crazy
pewno
things
jakieś
too.
mieszkanie
But
czy
I'd like to
coś w
also
tym
point out that
stylu.
there are a lot of super talented fans out there that make really cool stuff. And so
mógłbym do niej pojechać.
we're allowing players now
No
to
i w sumie
take
tylko
that
tyle.
and kind of to a certain extent make that within the game, within kind of the world and the rules of the Sonic.
So do you choose like a base animal?
That's
and
right.
then
Yeah.
you start customizing like color, gender, that kind of thing?
Exactly. So you start with one of 7 types of animals.
Okay.
Each of the animals has a different ability. So one of them might pull in rings that are nearby you. One of them, if you get hit, might keep an extra ring, so you can get hit a second time.
Yeah.
One of them might have a double jump. So that's how you start. And then from there, you start to customize the base model, right? You pick the gender, you pick, the eye color, you pick the color of the body, and then from there you can unlock accessories and kind of deck them out as you're playing through the game.
Oh, cool.
And the more that you play, the more you're unlocking for your characters.
Are those accessories cosmetic, or do they also give some sort of like stat boost or abilities?
Both. That's the cool part. So there's 2 types. There's what I'm just going to call accessories here, and what are called wisp-ons. And accessories are how to decorate your character, make it look cool, right? And some people have asked us, is that going to show up in the cutscenes too? Like this is the joke with every game that has a custom character, and there's this really serious cutscene, and then your character walks in looking really silly with the sombrero or something.
Ja,
right?
jeśli chciałbyś zrobić 24 godziny live, to masz pomysł, co byśmy robili? Wspólnie oglądanie jakiegoś filmu czy coś, czy będziesz wpychał gierki jakieś, włączę jakiś film na Blu-rayu i po prostu puszczę kamerę i będziemy sobie oglądać razem. Będę grał w jakieś gry w tym stylu, albo gdzieś wyjdę na dwór z kamerą i będę wam robić live'a na Facebooku na 24 godziny, albo na YouTubie 24 godziny zrobię i wyjdę gdzieś i będę chodzić, czy coś w tym stylu. Nie wiem, coś wymyślę. Powinien być panel The Last Jedi i Hanna Solo na Comic-Conie, więc będzie z czego robić live'y. Może też nowy trailer jakiś wypuszczą w tym czasie. Możliwe.
Is Amy confirming that Shadow has been spotted? Oh my goodness.
So how did you, obviously in the initial reveal trailer, it
to
showed that it
się
has
podoba.
both modern Sonic as well as sort of the little classic Sonic, the little chubs.
It's got a little
Yeah, which no, I love. So what was the, where did that decision come in to like, hey, let's sort of, allow both worlds to collide?
Yeah. Well, that was pretty easy actually, because you look back at the games that both fans and critics, like I mentioned, really liked. And as far as 3D Sonic is concerned, one of the most loved ones was Sonic Generations. And people said this is a great throwback. The controls feeling good. It's feeling like a good step forward. And so we didn't want to necessarily just take that cookie cutter, right? The team never wants to take something and just do the same thing. So they wanted to make a game where it's not throwback levels. It's a lot of new stuff in there, and we have like a green hill, but it's kind of like a dusty, deserted green hill that's being destroyed a little bit, right?
He's given up.
He's
O, to będzie na PS4.
he's jumping to another level to show us the Green Hill
Oh, nice.
in a second, which is there's a boss fight we're going to show off. It's going to be everything you're seeing here is going to be playable at E3. So if people are watching this and want to play, come by our booth at Sega, check it out. You can play all of the 3 levels we're going to show today, as well as Mania, of course. So Green Hill looks a little bit different, right? There's some throwbacks in there, but a lot of it's new, and so that's a big thing for us. So here we go. I think I hear it at least.
We can hear it. I hear the rolling.
Powering up.
There it is.
Oh, so this is cool. So this feels like very much a classic Sonic boss.
Yeah, minus the spinning saw blade. Which it was a wrecking ball.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's just slightly more violent.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh cool, I beat the boss, and then not quite surprised. So as you
I did not
Ale
expect that, to
kozak.
be honest.
Kozak w
we
necie,
surprised you once at least. All right.
wiadomo
So
co w świecie.
you get these moments where like here comes the egg
No w sumie
dragon.
wtedy
which is a very
Dead
different
zostanie
boss from
5
the
miesięcy,
original
wtedy nowy trailer
Sonic
na
1
pewno
boss
się
in
przyda
Green
na
Hill Zone. And
podtrzymanie
now he's got his own
zainteresowania
attacks.
i
In the
mogliby
background, you
oficjalny
kind
tytuł
of see,
filmu o
like, the sandfall
solo
that's happening
podać.
because Eggman is
No w
taking
sumie
over
tak.
the world.
W sumie to masz
and
rację, Ozzy.
classic Sonic
W sumie
and
to
the
masz
character that you
rację,
make
Ozzy.
in the game are all kind of fighting together as part of a resistance to take back the world from Dr. Eggman. So in some ways it's a little bit darker, but you still got your bright moments and bright levels like you kind of see here with the grass blowing in the wind there. And we're just fighting back against Eggman. I think we're going to try and beat him here.
You mentioned you wanted to pare it down to 3 sort of more focused game types. You have the Sonic Adventure game type, which we saw originally, running through the city.
I wouldn't
Podoba mi
call
się
it
ten
adventure,
Sonic
call it more like
PlayStation.
generations.
Okay, more like generations.
Like an evolution of generations
And
slightly.
then we saw it sort of go into a 2D-ish.
That's right.
And then what would you say is the third?
The third
Tytuł na
is
bank
the
podadzą,
virtual
pisze
character,
Orson
the
Krennic.
custom avatar gameplay style, and that is sort of a little bit of the modern Sonic that we saw, but it's got some new stuff in there with the Wisp-On, as well as the grappling hook that you've got that lets you swing around levels and get to different parts, and we're going to see that in just a second.
Oh, very cool.
With a customized character?
That's right.
Okay,
That's
cool.
right.
So I'm curious, so you make your own character, then like when do you play as Sonic? Or do you choose who you play as with every level?
No tak, tylko nie wiadomo czy na Comic-Conie, czy na tym całym D23
So you
Expo,
guys
czy
sort of
jakoś tak.
identify in the story, you're playing a Sonic now, you're playing a
Mam
zero
nadzieję, że na Comic-Conie, bo D23 często są pokazywane rzeczy, których nie da się streamować, bo to są zamknięte imprezy czy coś w tym stylu i tam mało rzeczy jest pokazywanych ludziom. Tam większość rzeczy jakie pokażą i zaprezentują to tajemnice. Więc mam nadzieję, że to co ma być zaprezentowane zostanie zaprezentowane na Comic-Conie.
What are we playing as? What sort of a critter?
Bo tam sobie Disney na D23 robi pokazy zamknięte i tam może pokazywać sobie co tylko chce, ale ludziom, którzy są zaproszeni, nic więcej.
Oh, nice.
Can bounce around and platform using the Wisp-On. At the same time, we can also use this Wisp-On to go on the offense. So we can hold down the trigger and that'll let us hold out the flamethrower and just wipe out any enemy that comes in our path as we're going forward. Just like that.
It seems like in a platformer, precision is always key. So how do you balance giving the players the ability to sort of customize certain abilities, certain stats with, a platforming challenge?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I wouldn't think of it as like customizing stats. You're not going in and like adjusting your jump ability or anything like that.
You're not min-maxing.
Exactly. It's more of like customizing that Wisp-On that you see the character with. And so you're adjusting how can I platform through the level when I collect those wisps.
Ja tak na nią
What secrets
czekam.
can I get to that I couldn't get to with a different Wisp-On?
Yeah. It almost seems cool, like that seems like built for sequence breaking and speedrunning and like being able to watch people online do things where you're like, we totally didn't plan for that.
We've already had that in some of our early testing. We're like, do you know if you use this certain Wisp-On and just like hold this down, you can completely skip these sections? We didn't know that was the thing. So,
I love that.
It's kind of fun, and I hope, man, I can't wait to see speedrunners, because they do an awesome job with Sonic games in general. I can't wait to watch them. Now here, we're coming at the end of the level.
Cool crab guy.
It is a cool crab guy.
This is a fun moment for the demo in the game.
The last boss was a Dragoon. I think this one's the Crab Rangoon.
It's the Crab Rangoon.
That's right.
Okay, we haven't had dinner yet.
The Crab Rangoon. I'll let the dev team know that IGN has requested.
That's a freebie. They can have that one.
It might be too late to change. I'll pass on the request. And this is kind of like a little mini boss. It's not really a full boss. It's just kind of this cool cinematic moment at the end of the level, and we're dodging the bits of the level that it's throwing at us. You get a good view of the character that we've created here. Now we've been pretty tame with this character. I just want to throw it out there.
XD. Jeśli się okaże, że od trzeciej zaczną tak jak planowałem na początku XD. Pamiętam jak na D23 to zapowiedź Infinity War puścili, która nigdy nie ujrzała światła dziennego, jedynie nagrania były jak ludzie nagrywali telefonami.
Perfect. So there's a lot of cool stuff in the game, and there's even more we haven't announced yet that we're going to kind of be talking about as we get a little bit into E3. So we have some more news coming up tomorrow.
You can announce it now if you want.
I know
Yeah,
I
then
could,
why
but
wait?
Yeah.
Just get ahead of it.
my PR team would kill me, guys.
They're not. They're probably.
We'll
She's
protect
standing
you.
right over there, giving me this symbol. Like she's, I don't know about that.
So you announced platforms for Sonic Mania.
So Mania and Forces both coming out. PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
cool.
As we were talking about earlier, on the Switch, you can actually take the Joy-Cons off and play Sonic and Tails for Mania, which is really cool, worth mentioning. Forces, again, the same platforms. And the Forces is coming out this holiday, we do have a release date for Mania, and that's going to be August 15th.
Oh, that's super soon.
This year. It's coming out really
right around the
soon.
corner.
That's terrifying to
So
see.
we're stoked. Yeah, pre-order's up now, and we just can't wait for it to be here so we can see what people think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forces is later this year.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
End of
still
this year. Yeah.
coming 2017.
That's correct. Yeah.
What I think is really cool about Forces is that even though it's the more modern of the Sonic games, I can totally see the threads that connect it to the classic Sonic games.
Yeah, which is actually
Especially
that's just a smart through line to both appeal to people like us who played Sonic when we were kids, but also kids now
It's
who are getting into
cool.
Sonic for the first time.
Yeah, and this started with Sonic Generations, but the title Generations meant more than just generations of Sonic. It also meant generations of us as fans, because a lot of us that grew up, as kids playing it now, getting old enough that we start having kids and doing adult things, and you're like, I don't want to do that, right? But
Nope.
but even so, it's
thank you.
happening. Time marches on, So here we are, and it's kind of neat that a new generation of people can be introduced to Sonic, and generation of kids, dads can play with their sons,
Dlaczego
and
mi
moms with their
przypomina
daughters, whatever,
Kevina
right?
samego w domu, tego nie
It's kind
wiem.
of neat that we've come to that point now
A
with
taki
Sonic
miły
and with other
Kevin,
gaming
który nie brał
icons.
narkotyków
Aaron,
później.
thank you so much for bringing not one, but 2 Sonic games by the IGN show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Stay right there because Sony's press conference is still on the way, and so is our pre-show. IGN Live at E3 continues right after this. Eat your mug.
I don't want to eat my mug.
Eat it. Eat it.
IGN Live at E3 2017 is
The biggest entertainment event of the year is almost here, and we got your All Access Pass. IGN live from San Diego Comic-Con. World premiere trailers and breaking news as it happens. The biggest stars and the world's best cosplay. IGN live from Comic-Con. Coverage starts July 19.
IGN is the world's #1 media brand for video games and entertainment. From breaking news and brand new trailers to reviews, let's plays, and the latest tips and tricks, IGN brings you the videos you crave everywhere you watch. Whether you're on the IGN app, PlayStation, Xbox, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat,
Powinni
or
zrobić specjalnie dla mnie
IGN.com,
lifehack, jak się zamrozić karbonicie i odmrozić samemu przed konferencją Sony. Tak, żeby teraz nie musieć tego oglądać.
Did you know that IGN has an app that gives you all the tools you love right in the palm of your hands?
Nie.
It's fast. And you can save videos and articles for later, check your personalized feed, or check out all the latest reviews. Download it now on the iOS or Android App Store.
Nie.
Two friends, one controller. IGN's Link Together turned Zelda Breath of the Wild into a co-op experience where Link is controlled by 2 players via splitting the Joy-Cons. Hyrule becomes a much more dangerous place, and friendships teeter on the edge. Check out Link Together Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific.
Link Together. Red Dead 2? To jakieś znaki? Nie wiem. The Last of Us? To jakieś znaki? Nie wiem. Chyba się zaczyna konferencja. Chyba się zaczyna.
You really gonna go through with this?
I'm gonna find.
So PlayStation surprised us by showing a short teaser
every
trailer at last
last
year's PlayStation experience,
one of them.
and it didn't really tell us much, but
Boże,
we
ta
know that
muzyka
Ellie's back,
Santa
we
Olali,
presume that
Gustawa
Joel is
Santa
back,
Olali jest
and
po
we have kind of a
prostu
rough idea that this
wyśmienita.
is probably a few years later. We know Ellie has a cool tattoo, but we don't know much else. I think The Last of Us Part 2 will almost definitely be at E3. I think this is kind of the crown jewel in Sony's lineup of exclusives, and this
Może
game
The
may be
Last
far
of Us
away, we don't know
2.
how far along it is, but I do think that we'll see at least another teaser just to kind of keep that hype train going. The original Last of Us is one of the best games of last generation, and honestly one of the best storytelling experiences in games in general. I think Naughty Dog
Będę
has
się
proven
zbierać,
that
także
they
dobranoc
are
wszystkim, abyście
just
dostali swoje
one
wymarzone
of the
gry.
best developers
Dobranoc
around,
na
and they
Riennell,
really
ale
know
jakby
how
co
to tell a
wpadnie do nas
story,
jeszcze.
and I think we became so attached to those characters in the first game.
A już za
that seeing
miesiąc
the
nowy
return,
Spidey.
Those performances from Ashley Johnson, Troy Baker again.
A, że w
Plus
kinach,
having
no.
the original writing team back, Neil Druckmann's back, but now he partnered with Haley Gross, who's a writer on Westworld from HBO. I just think all
Jak
the
ktoś jest
pieces
z
are in
Warszawy,
place
to
for something
zapraszamy,
really,
to
really
razem
special.
pójdziemy do kina.
I think Last of Us would be a great candidate to open the show. I think we'll probably see some footage, but my guess is that we're still a few years out for The Last of Us Part 2. I think this is probably a 2018 game. I think Naughty Dog has shown that they can be really fast. fast, but my guess is that real work began on this after Uncharted 4 was completed. I think we're more likely to maybe meet a new character or see sort of an intro cutscene to something that sort of establishes what's going on since the events of Last of Us Part 1. I don't think they would show gameplay quite yet. They could even take a page out of EA's book and show the fact that it's in production, show some mocap, show some wireframe stuff. But my guess is that this is still a little too early to do any kind of like extended gameplay demo or anything like that. I think there was so much ambiguity at the end of the first game that there's just room to fill in. Like, I think there are a lot of games where you get an ending and you're like, you know what, I'm satisfied. Whereas The Last of Us really did leave us with so many questions that I think there's room to see what else happens to these characters. Ellie is very important to kind of the bigger picture lore of what's going on in the world, and I think there's more of her story to tell, and to make it more about her. I think the first game was sort of certainly about her relationship with Joel, but it sort of felt like more his story, and it began on what happened in his life. This is kind of a chance for us to really fully focus on Ellie, and I think that's exciting.
Na który film superhero z tych nadchodzących czujesz największy hype, Macie?
And I think, of course, people are talk about the gameplay and
na Tora, Black Panthera, Spidermana, na każdy. No, ale najbardziej chyba na Infinity War. Braci Russo, bo bracia Russo nigdy nie zawodzą i koniec.
A new group or a focus on a new set of characters. It is Joel and Ellie, and it will continue that story. It'll fill in kind of the gaps from that ambiguous ending in the first game, and I think Naughty Dog is kind of ready to embrace that and to show us what's happening in these characters' journey.
I'm gonna find, and I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
Hello and welcome back to IGN Live at E3 2017. I'm Damon Hatfield and we're coming to you from Los Angeles for the PlayStation E3 briefing pre-show. We'll take you live to the Shrine Auditorium in about half an hour as soon as it starts. We're going to cover a lot of ground in this pre-show, including the new God of War, sequel to The Last of Us, PlayStation VR, and a whole lot more. And here to help break down everything we expect to see from Sony, Lucy O'Brien, Marty Sliva, Max Scoville, ladies and gentlemen, we finally reached the last press conference of the day.
Yes. I am extremely exhausted, but I am so excited for tonight.
Yep. I mean, Sony's gotten their press conferences down
No to podobnie jak ja, na Justice League nie czuję hype'u z wiadomych powodów. Znaczy, ja nawet nie wiem, co myśleć o Justice League, ze względu na to, co się teraz działo po śmierci córki Snyderów. I teraz muszą odchodzić, teraz wszystko przejmie Joss Whedon. I chciałoby się wręcz powiedzieć szczęście w nieszczęściu, ale nie ma co sobie z tego żartować. No, córka popełniła samobójstwo i nie można sobie z tego w ogóle żartować, ale normalnie, gdybym miał dalej swój czarny humor, to bym po prostu powiedział szczęście w nieszczęściu, bo Snyder i pan Snyder i pani Snyder po prostu nie wiedzieli, jak się za to zabrać. A że teraz Whedon może to jakoś przejąć, to mamy jednak jakiś powód, żeby wreszcie zacząć czuć, że to uniwersum jakoś się rozrośnie. Ale jednak film jest gotowy, Justice League jest gotowe, więc Whedon może tylko poprawić to, co zrobił Snyder, ale nie poprawi wszystkich błędów, więc film będzie minimalnie, w najlepszym wypadku po prostu będzie do oglądania. I tyle.
Just Peter Parker kicking back with his headphones on, having a good time. No, like really Spider-Man. I want to see that game.
Mine is probably the least likely Bloodborne 2. I just like for me, if they announce Bloodborne 2, I mean, you know, Marty, you said earlier that you would eat your mug if they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2, which they did.
Yeah, the night is still young.
I'm not going to eat my mug if they announce Bloodborne 2, but I will celebrate very loudly.
You could just drink out of your mug.
I could just drink out of it, like, you know.
You could break it. You could go outside to break it.
I could do that. Yeah, just by myself, like lonely, like in a corner. But look, Bloodborne 2. Bloodborne is my game of all time.
Wow.
Actually, so I know it's such a big call, but I have been excited for a sequel since I finished that game, and if they announce that tonight, I will lose it.
Well, let's begin with
Bloodborne 2.
another
No ja
sequel that we
czekam,
know
ale
is
nie,
real,
nie aż
The Last
taki
of Us
hype mam na tą
Part
grę.
2.
Jedynkiem,
Revealed
ale jedynkiem
at,
się ogrywało bardzo
PSX
dobrze, bardzo,
last
bardzo,
December.
bardzo.
Will they bring it out again today?
So we had that really awesome cinematic at PSX in December, which showcased Ellie, a much older Ellie, in a very sad world. She was playing a guitar in this empty house, and Joel was there, and a lot of us were like, "Are you a ghost?" Like, we don't know if this is real Joel or ghost Joel. And so I think a lot of people are assuming The Last of Us 2 is going to have a huge splash here. I personally literally don't think it's going to be at the show.
Yeah, they were very adamant at PSX that it's super early on, and they were just like, hey, we're really just kicking this to you because you love PlayStation, otherwise why would you go to PSX? I'm in that weird sort of outset where I don't...
Jest dużo lepiej, jest o wiele lepiej, ale i tak jest źle. Ten film dalej jest zły i koniec. Wonder Woman to jest zły film. Znaczy jest lepszy od Batman v Superman i Suicide Squad, poprawia niemal wszystko, ale dalej jest zły, jest bardzo zły.
Like I said, it'll be good, but I'm like, I don't know.
I would enjoy it if they did call it The Last of Us again.
Yeah, The Rest of Us.
I zrozumiemy, że się nie zgodzicie.
But no, I'm with Marty. I am not convinced we're going to see it at this show. I think that last year's announcement was very much a, hey, we're working on it, and here's proof of concept. But I don't really think we're going to see a heck of a lot tonight.
Yeah, that being said, like, in terms of what I want from The Last of Us 2, I want Naughty Dog to take their time, which they always do. They always deliver something awesome. And honestly, I hate to say I want more of the same. I want them to continue the story in a really cool and amazing way, and I want it to focus on this sort of darker, beaten down Ellie and see the woman she becomes in this world.
Yeah.
I don't know, I find that, really interesting.
But you don't think it's going to be here tonight?
I don't.
Well, so there is hardly a game more beloved with the IGN audience than The Last of Us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like there'd be a lot of disappointed Sony fans out there if they didn't have it on the show.
Yeah, I completely agree. Do you know something I don't?
Don't worry about this.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm worried. No, because I think, to go to another Naughty Dog game, I think they want to focus on Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which comes out, we know, in like 2 or 3 months in August. And I think they want to show that because this is probably the final, big media push for that game before it releases in a couple months.
Yeah, I mean, I will be disappointed if we don't see more of The Last of Us 2. Obviously, it's something that I want to see. I'm just not convinced. I think, obviously, the next Uncharted standalone is very much going to be the focus, particularly because people still quite aren't sure what that game is and how it fits into the world.
Really gonna go through this?
What's the price point like what's the length going to be? So yeah, I think we're going to see a bit more of that too.
Yeah.
Marty wants more of the same in The Last of Us 2.
Yes.
In a positive way, just
an incredible way, yes.
The same is good. Max is a little hesitant because he loves the first game so
Lepsza
much.
niż Man of
Is it
Steel,
because you're
bo do
worried
tej
that you
pory Man of
don't want
Steel
to ruin a good
był
thing?
na czele filmów
I mean,
DC
kind of.
Universe.
I don't want to say it cheapens it because those
Lepsze.
are possibly the most highly polished
Lepsze od
games
Man of Steel.
made, but like at the same time, I'm excited because
to
we've got
dalej
Days
jest zły
Gone,
film.
which looks like a Last of Us sequel. It's a different universe, different producer, a different studio, and everything. But it's also like it's a gritty, grounded, zombie game. And then again, Naughty Dog also has a new Uncharted on the way, and it's like I'm also just not in a hurry to see more Last of Us.
Well, actually, I wrote an op-ed ages ago saying that we don't need a Last of Us 2 because I was
okay, so you can back me up on this.
I can back you. I'm sitting here all silently and just letting you ride. But the thing is that I do agree. Personally, it was kind of tough to sort of think. Yes, we're going to revisit those characters because the ending of The Last of Us, in my opinion, was
Mam nadzieję, że każda gra na tej konferencji to będzie mój nerdgazm. To będzie orgazm gwarantowany od samego patrzenia.
And I was just like, okay, that's where I want it to end. But that's looking back. That's a few years back that I wrote that. We know that we're getting a Last of Us 2, and so now I'm just hoping for the best.
Oczywiście, jeśli mnie oglądacie już poza live'em, jeżeli jesteście poza live'em i oglądacie naszą konferencję, naszego już nie live'a, który jest zapisany, związany z konferencją Sony, mam nadzieję, że zasubskrybujecie ten kanał oraz dacie łapkę w górę tym razem, bo łapki zbieramy tylko i wyłącznie na live'ach. Takie rzeczy nas mijają.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have breaking news. Knack 2 has a release date.
What? Wait, did they just do that before the conference?
Yeah. Knack 2 launches...
Like officially, or was it a leak?
I just have, it's official, it's official.
They wasted a card on that?
Knack 2 launches September 5th for $40.
Wow,
Wow, okay.
Wow! Nie będzie Knacka na konferencji, tylko już teraz go zaprezentowali? Super. Nie wiem jak wy macie z Neckiem, ale znaczy znakiem. Knack to była taka gra dla dzieci, która wyszła razem z premierą konsoli PlayStation 4. I Knack był strasznie nierówny. Był, nie wiadomo czy był dla dorosłych, czy był dla dzieci, z animacją dla dzieci, ale z grywalnością jak dla dorosłego człowieka, który po prostu musiał być strasznie spokojnym człowiekiem, bo to się strasznie źle i marnie ogrywało, więc no na Knacka ogólnie 2 jakoś za bardzo nie czekam.
Supermassive announced a new game.
Okay.
What does that mean?
That's exciting. So Supermassive was the studio behind Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Until Dawn guys. Okay,
Yeah.
so they've announced a new game called Hidden Agenda.
Ooh. So I'm assuming that I want Until Dawn 2.
I want Until Dawn 2.
Na kanale PlayStation coś się zaczyna, przynajmniej dali filmik Fall 2017.
We have like no idea what it is, so I mean you could say they have a hidden agenda with that.
Okay, but that being said, our whole thing was that the next
Ja
Until
wolę
Dawn
jednak
game
Ozzy zostać
would
tutaj,
be
bo tutaj
maybe,
zawsze
take up on a different horror genre.
IGN mówi
And
dokładnie
I'm
co się dzieje.
thinking, like,
Ale
are
jakby
they gonna
co,
do
słuchaj,
the
jakby co
choose
Ozzy,
your own
jak się zacznie konferencja na tym kanale PlayStation, to daj mi znać, że mógł tam przejść. Bo jeżeli tam się zacznie na przykład 10 minut wcześniej, to wolę jednak przewinąć.
What is happening? What do you mean?
I thought you just keep reading things off.
We can't talk about Knack 2 forever, Marty. Also from Naughty Dog, there is Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, a standalone story that stars Chloe Frazier.
Yeah.
If you're doubtful Uncharted or Last of Us 2 is going to be there, will Uncharted: Lost Legacy be there?
Yes, I think it will. I think it's just 100% there.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
That has a release date. That's like what?
That's August.
August, yeah.
We know it stars Chloe and Nadine, which I think is great because I think Nadine was one of the coolest additions to Uncharted 4.
And also criminally underutilized.
Yep. And Laura Bailey just crushed it with the performance. So I'm super intrigued to see what this is. We know it takes place in a single country, and we know they said it features some of the biggest environments ever in an Uncharted game.
Well, this was also revealed at PSX last December with a cool
widziałem tego
gameplay demo,
trailera,
but I don't think
chyba
I've
że jest
seen
nowy,
this footage
to wtedy
that we're seeing
wow.
here.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
No one's seen this?
I don't think so. I don't remember this.
Where's
Are we breaking an embargo or anything?
I don't think we're breaking an embargo. But yeah, it was a really smart reveal at PSX where we all saw this sort of, it was this stealthy trip through a building, knocking a bunch of guards off, and the character was wearing a hood.
Yeah.
And we were all watching it like, is this Tomb Raider?
That was a riot because we were like, here's what this game is, and it was like Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, Last of Us, and it just, we kept listing stuff, and then it wound up being like.
And then we got to the top, and we were like, oh, it's more Uncharted. All right, that's great.
What I'm really excited about with The Lost Legacy is to see the dynamic between these two leads, because we're so used to Nate and Sully. We know what their dynamic is. We know what to expect. And here we've got two characters who we have met, but we have not seen them together.
Never in the same game.
And so I'm really excited to see what their kind of banter is going to be like, because for me, the Uncharted series is all about the banter.
Yes, 100%. It almost feels sort of in tone like the MCU, where you get these superheroes and you want to see them paired up in different pairs. You're like, oh, I want to see what Doctor Strange and Hulk are going to be like when they're together.
I'm excited to see if there's different mechanics just because you're playing as a different character. Obviously, they showed off the lock picking in the demo they showed at PSX, and it looked. I mean, it's a lock-picking mechanic. You can't get too excited about it, but it looked like novel enough, and I was like, this is curious. This could be interesting, and I wonder if we're going to have more stuff like that where, I don't know, the shooting's different or the combat's different.
I mean, you even see in Uncharted 4, Nadine is military trained. Like, he's like knocking Nate around left and right because he's just like a barroom brawler. So I do think the combat is going to feel differently just because you're playing as a character with a much different set of skills.
So do you think this is being positioned like Lucy, like Dishonored, the death of the outsider? Is this like a standalone?
Yeah, I think that's, from my understanding, it's very much, we're in this sort of new vein of standalone games that aren't quite, you wouldn't quite call them DLC. You don't really call it a sequel, you call it like a standalone or a spin-off. Smaller in scope adventure, yet, you know, with all the sort of talent behind it. So yeah, it's definitely going to be not, you know, how long was
Ale
Uncharted
wiecie co,
4?
według mnie właśnie GTA 6 byłoby chyba najbardziej potrzebną grą dla naszego społeczeństwa.
started Uncharted, I'm like, great.
Według mnie
this
tak,
is
według
6, 7,
mnie
8 hours,
dla
really tight 6, 7, 8.
społeczeństwa
But it already
graczy
has a
oraz
release date, right?
społeczeństwa w
Yes,
ogóle
yeah,
And it's Uncharted,
najbardziej potrzebną grą,
fan
jaka
favorite characters. I feel like everyone's
musiałaby
pretty
się
much
teraz
already on
znaleźć,
board, so they don't really need to
to
spend a lot
jest
of time on
właśnie
this tonight, do they?
I
GTA
feel like
6,
everyone's
ze
sold,
względu na
and
to,
they did show like an
że
extended gameplay demo, and they did show cutscenes.
wiadomo, co się
So,
teraz dzieje w
yeah, I want them
Europie,
to touch on it
wiadomo,
tonight,
jakie
but,
są rzeczy,
there are
jakie
other
są
games
wybuchy,
I
zamachy
would
i w
much prefer
ogóle.
them to focus on that we know a lot less about.
I GTA mogłoby
Any,
zrobić
new
z tego
features
ciekawą
we'd hope to
fabułę.
see them explore.
Fabułę, która
I mean,
zarazem
we
to
have
wyśmieje i
new,
zarazem
totally
da jakąś
different
nadzieję.
protagonists, in this
Bo oni,
Uncharted spin-off.
bo oni często sobie żartują właśnie
Uncharted
z
4
takich
dabbled
najgłówniejszych
in,
tematów tego, co się
dialogue
dzieje na
choices.
świecie.
Yeah.
Where there were a couple moments where
Raz jest
like when Nate and Sam
biurokracja,
first got back
raz, jest,
together, where
raz są
he was
łapówki
like, what
w
have you been up to?
ogóle
And you could choose pretty much one of the
przekręty
plots of
w
the original
prawie i
games. And
wszystko,
you're like, well, where do I
jak to właśnie
start?
było w piątce, czy
Didn't
coś
really
w tym
have any
stylu.
bearing on anything. I'd like to
I
see
teraz
that
dobrze by było, gdyby właśnie
maybe have
GTA
some
zajęło
sort
się
of impact,
historią
maybe
ludzi,
want
którzy
to
może nie
replay
tyle są
Uncharted
zamieszani w
again.
ataki
Yeah, I could see them
terrorystyczne,
doing
ale
something
że
just
gdzieś te
really
ataki
surprising
terrorystyczne
mechanically.
mają
Obviously,
swój
Uncharted
mały
4 had the
wątek
grappling hook
pośród
and
tych
then
wszystkich
the
wielu
truck with
wątków.
the winch. I like the winch.
You like the winch?
I thought it was pretty cool.
I wasn't a fan-
Może
I
nie
wasn't
tyle
a fan of the
wątkiem
winch.
było
Times,
samo
yeah.
wysadzanie, czy coś w
Yeah,
tym
but
stylu, czy
something
zabijanie
along
ludzi,
those lines,
dlatego,
where you're like, what are they
tylko
doing
po
over
prostu
there?
zażartowanie sobie z tego, tak jak South Park robiło, zaraz, bo nie mogę dojść do... Tak jak na przykład South Park miał odcinek po 11 września. Po 11 września zrobili odcinek, który naprawdę był potrzebny dla Amerykan. Zrobili odcinek, który zaczyna się od tego, że dzieci w maskach gazowych jadą do szkoły, a potem okazuje się, że wyjeżdżają do Iraku czy tam Iranu i bawią się z głupkiem w Osamę Bin Ladena, z Osamą Bin Ladenem bawią się w głupka, a przy okazji Osama Bin Laden wychodzi na głupka, więc no GTA 6 prawdopodobnie mogłoby pójść w tym kierunku i coś takiego mogłoby zrobić. I to by była taki promyk nadziei, taki lekki moment, gdzie można się rozluźnić dla społeczeństwa, bo najważniejsze są te momenty, gdzie można się rozluźnić i jakoś przestać się martwić na chwilę. I GTA 6 mogłoby coś takiego zrobić.
Play that was my favorite thing on the show last year.
Yeah.
And so I absolutely think we see another demo, maybe even kicking off the show, and I think we get a release date. And I know I might be in the minority, but I think this game is coming a lot sooner than we think.
Spokojnie, patrząc, że imigrantów szybko się nie pozbędziemy, to nawet jak GTA 6 wyjdzie za 5 lat, to będzie aktualne.
I can't answer that. We haven't
A
watched
dobra,
the
już nie
press
mówimy o
conference.
polityce, nie mówimy o tym, po prostu powiedziałem, co
I hope
myślę
they
o
show off
GTA
some
6,
mechanic
że
that's really
w
that blows
jakimś
us all
momencie
away.
mógłby
Because
wyjść.
it looks awesome. It looks fantastic. I'm confident it will be a good game.
Kratos.
But there's some hook that we haven't seen yet, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, what did you feel about the reveal last year?
I mean, I thought it was great. It's treading upon very familiar tropes of the young kid and the grown dude, which is something that we've actually kind of got used to in video games now. I'm just interested to see how God of War-y it's going to look this year, because last year it didn't look God of War-y at all.
Yeah, I interviewed Cory Barlog, the creative director, last year, and he pretty much said that this is a game about Kratos having to come to terms with the fact that he did terrible things as a human, and now he has a child in his life, and he sort of has to learn to come to terms with what he did and move past it so that he doesn't impart those same things on his son, which on paper is incredible.
I love what I'm seeing here. You know, you just had knowledge gained, gained experience points. You know, we've talked about how we love the cinematic experience of the previous God of War games, but I always felt they were a little I don't know, just maybe a little shallow for me and what I'm looking for. But it literally looks like they're building out with new game systems and RPG elements and exploration, open world stuff. And that sounds awesome.
And we saw these things. We see this rage meter come up where the son misses a shot when he's hunting, and Kratos has this. He starts screaming at him, and this rage meter is coming up, and the son starts crying, and Kratos calms down a little bit. And the idea of the angriest character in video game history, a mechanic being him having to control his temper around his son. We see that in the corner right there. Like, if they turn that into a game mechanic, like that's
Maybe that's the hook right there.
Yeah, that sounds incredible.
And when do you unleash that rage?
Probably on some sort of a weird beast.
Like a huge eyeball that it's attached to elephant or something.
Yeah, but I mean, that's to me, like, God of War has always been a technically impressive series, but it's at a certain point it felt juvenile to me, and this felt adult.
I wonder if they're going to acknowledge the previous games at all, or look at them as though they were kind of fairy tales. It'd be cool if they had flashbacks to the earlier games, but presented them as almost folk tales or myths, obviously.
Sure, yeah. Well, no, and obviously this feels like Norse mythology compared to the Greek mythology of the previous games.
Lucy, do you think Sony has a problem on its hands that at a glance, this looks like Horizon?
I was just going to say, this looks exactly like Horizon. You know, I loved Horizon Zero Dawn. I really like the idea of exploring with like a young kid and that sort of thing, and watching them the things unfold through their eyes. So it's a great thing. I want more of it. I'm happy to. Yeah. That comparison is totally fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, Horizon was one of my favorite games of the year, so I'm totally fine with more of that.
All right, last year Sony revealed that there is a new Spider-Man game in development from Insomniac, which is their first licensed game. And Max is super excited to see more of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I like
Tell us why,
Spider-Man.
Max.
I mean, I love Spider-Man. I love Marvel Comics. Marvel's always been my go-to. I love DC too. The Arkham games have been fantastic, and for ages I've been saying like DC is kicking Marvel's ass when it comes to games, and I really hope that changes. Also, just tonally, Spider-Man is so far removed from
Ta konferencja
what
to chyba
Batman is
jednak
as
od
character.
trzeciej.
This game, when you look at it, obviously I'm comparing
Wiesz
the
co, chyba też
entirely different
zaczynam się
developers
nad
making
tym
them.
lekko zastanawiać,
You know,
ale to
he's a guy who swings around
11
the city,
minut
but
to
it's
co
like a
tam
colorful city. He's a guy
przeczekam.
who makes wisecracks. He doesn't just go Barbara and growl at people. I mean, Insomniac has so many amazing games under their belt,
Boże,
and I want to see what they're doing with this. I want to see a chunk of gameplay of this, because we got this awesome sizzle reel last year. I want to see what it's like when you're
Spider-Man
just going around
Sony's
doing your
next
thing.
big
I think
hit.
for me, the key with this game is going to be with Spider-Man himself. I'm very confident that they're going to get the mechanics right.
Sure.
I'm just curious to see whether they get the
Boże,
character right. Because
Insomniac,
Spider-Man treads a fine line
wychowałem
between
się na
being
was
hilarious and awesome
na
and then
raczej
kind of
klanku. Ja czekam na tego Spidermana
Honestly, I totally
tak
understand that. To
cholernie.
me, Insomniac seems like the perfect developer to handle this. Between the balance of humor they had on the Ratchet & Clank games, and then leading into the sense of mobility in Sunset Overdrive, like marrying those together in an open world with, you know, Spider-Man's powers and villains seems like an amazing fit to me. Amazing.
I get it.
Is Spider-Man a 2017 game?
I think it's an early 2018 game.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're going to see an extended chunk and a release, and it's coming in 2018.
Spider-Man's a
Super Hot tego
2017
lata
movie,
dostanie
so why
wersję
shouldn't
VR.
the game be a
Nie znam.
2017 game?
Sandra Orion.
It
Hej,
makes sense to
obiecałam,
me.
że jestem.
Yeah.
Jak obiecałam, jestem. Witam cię, Sandra Orion. Jak się spało? Napisz nam, co się dzieje. Co ci się śniło i ogólnie, jak było fajnie. No i zostań z nami do końca. Elo, Sandra.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, Peter Parker is a very iconic character. I would think the actor playing him is important, so maybe they'd want to get somebody that's well known and beloved.
Yeah, I think, I honestly think very soon we are going to answer so many questions we have about Spider-Man and have had for the last hour.
This is, you know, another one of the most anticipated games
Jeszcze
with the
10
IGN
minut
audience.
do rozpoczęcia
The
konferencji.
game that people always talk about is Spider-Man 2, right? And that was a PlayStation 2 era game, so it's definitely been a long time since people have gotten their Spider-Man fix.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
I loved that game.
Yeah.
So you know, if this was the heart of that game, but just bigger, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, same.
Sounds good. I mean, open world games have come such an incredibly long way since that came out. But also, I mean, you look at Spider-Man and Batman have always been the two superheroes who were thrown at video games. They've had games since, you know, games were invented. And it's really cool to see both those characters as comic book characters, but as parts of popular culture kind of grow up. And, you know, something like swinging from a rooftop has come a really long way. Look at the grappling hook in Uncharted 4. Like, imagine that with web slingers, and it gets cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Marty, what do you think Insomniac in particular can bring to Spider-Man?
I mean, I loved Sunset Overdrive, which came out a couple of years ago. I think this is the same team. The sense of traversal mobility and the ability to get all the way across that city without ever touching the ground. To me, that's what I want from Spider-Man. I want to get all the way across Manhattan and never set my foot on the ground.
Nie rozumiem
Hopefully
od
we're
twojego
about to see more Spider-Man very soon. We've got to take a quick break, but our
Jeszcze
Sony
8
pre-show
minut.
will continue. We're less than 10 minutes out from the start of the Sony press conference. Stay with us.
Nie ten, tylko 8.
The biggest entertainment event of the year is almost here, and we got your all-access pass. IGN live from San Diego Comic-Con. World premiere trailers and breaking news as it happens. The biggest stars and the world's best cosplay. IGN live from Comic-Con. Coverage starts July 19.
Two friends, one controller. IGN's Link Together turned Zelda Breath of the Wild into a co-op experience where Link is controlled by two players via splitting the Joy-Cons. Hyrule becomes a much more dangerous place, and friendships teeter on the edge. Check out Link Together Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific.
IGN is the world's #1 media brand for video games and entertainment. From breaking news and brand new trailers to reviews, let's plays, and the latest tips and
GF
tricks,
Lord Raymond 12.
IGN brings
Witam
you the
obecnie, to jest
videos you
chyba jedyny
crave
live, który prowadzi
everywhere
ktoś z
you
Polski.
watch.
O, w takim razie zapraszam wszystkich, którzy oglądają live. O, kurde, narobię sobie subskrybentów w takim razie. Witam was wszystkich bardzo serdecznie, jestem Macie, z kanału Star Wars. Dzisiaj zbieramy łapki w dół, bo lubię na live'ach zbierać łapki w dół, także wy się wyżyjecie, mi będzie miło i oglądamy dzisiaj razem live'a z Sony. Napiszcie mi, jakie gry najbardziej chcecie dostać i jakie ogólnie, na jakie ogólnie najbardziej czekacie, także piszcie, rozmawiajmy, gadajmy, przy okazji się teraz wody napiję, bo czemu nie? Boże, czekam na gameplay z Gwiezdnych Wojen. Bo 2 lata temu Sony pokazało również gameplay z Gwiezdnych Wojen, tak jak wcześniej zrobiło to EA, ale pokazało z innej planety, więc mam nadzieję, że teraz też pokaże z innej planety.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3, the start of the Sony press
Sandra
conference.
Orion,
Just
dobrze się
minutes
spało,
away.
śniło mi
We're
się,
looking
że
at their
byłam w
feed now,
tamtym
and we will
Egipcie,
hop
było
over
coś
there as
ciekawego,
soon
jak
as the
spałam?
show starts. Now,
Raczej
one
nie.
looming question we have going
Raczej
in.
nie.
Is there a chance we could
Jeff
finally
Lord
have an
Raymond
official
12 i ja tam
Bloodborne
czekam na
2
Spidermana,
announcement?
ale ma
It
być
would
coś
make Lucy
ze Star
happy.
Wars podobno.
I mean, that's the thing, I
Ja
actually have no
przed chwilą
idea.
zdałem sobie sprawę, że przecież Red Dead Redemption 2 możemy dostać, albo Cyberpunk
there needs to be a Bloodborne 2. I
2077,
mean, we've
albo
seen Dark Souls have a
co jest
great
jasne
extended
oczywiście,
life.
The Last
Let's
of
see
Us
with
2.
Bloodborne, which is, in my opinion,
No
the
oczywiście
superior
Spider-Man, Boże,
Souls
kochany
franchise.
Spider-Man. I
I
Bloodborne.
think we are going to see something from FromSoft. Like we know they have a bunch of games in
Boże,
development. We don't know what
kochani,
any of them are.
jest tyle rzeczy.
So whether it's Bloodborne 2 or Armored Core or just something else, I think we're going to see them on stage tonight.
Już? Teraz będzie lepiej? Bo jak mnie zagłusza live. Oczywiście, tak jak powiedziałem, czekam najbardziej na Battlefronta, na nowy gameplay z Battlefronta, czekam na Spidermana, czekam na The Last of Us, czekam na Bloodborne 2, czekam na jakieś nowe IP, czekam na rozwój VR, czekam na Red Dead Redemption 2, możliwe, że pokażą Red Dead Redemption 2 oraz pokażą Bloodborne 2 oraz może pokażą Cyberpunk 2077, bo ej, Wiedźmin się dobrze sprzedawał na PlayStation, nie na Xboxa, a że wczoraj Redzi byli w Microsoftie, to może pokażą dzisiaj Redzi właśnie u nas, na Sony Cyberpunk 2077. Możliwe. A właśnie, jeszcze Become Human Detroit. Jakoś za bardzo na to nie czekam. Ograłem tylko jedną grę z tej, znaczy lubiłem tylko jedną grę z tej, od tego studia i to był Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain był naprawdę świetny. Heavy Rain zrewolucjonizował moje granie. To była moja jedna z pierwszych gier na PS3 zaraz po Uncharted 2, bo PS3 kupiłem bardzo późno. Chyba rok przed wyjściem PS4, ale Heavy Rain ograłem i strasznie cholernie mi się podobało. O, prawie hashtag. Elo Maciek, udało się, wstałem i poświęciłem nockę. Żółwik dla wszystkich ogólnie, którzy są ze mną teraz i którzy walczą. Hashtag wytrwamy. GF Lord Raymond 12. W tym roku raczej mieli się na gwincie skupić, więc według mnie to mało prawdopodobne. Sobie racja, ale pomarzyć zawsze można. O VR mówię. Ja tam nawet spać nie poszedłem XD. A właśnie, bo akurat mówią o VR-ze. Nie wiem jak z wami to jest z VR-em, ale ja strasznie nie mogę się doczekać rozwoju tej technologii. Ogólnie na razie jeszcze w ogóle z niego nie korzystałem, nigdy go nie miałem na oczach i bardzo bym chciał, wręcz marzę o tym, by z niego korzystać, ale najbardziej marzę o tym, żeby rozwinęli gry w taki sposób, żeby na VR powstawały gry typu Resident Evil 7. I prawdopodobnie to dostaniemy. Już dzisiaj oglądaliśmy konferencję Bethesdy i na konferencji Bethesdy pokazali nam, że będzie Doom, że Dooma zrobią na VR-a, albo Fallouta 4. VR się naprawdę rozwija. To nie będzie PS Vita, która zniknie po 2 latach. O nie, o nie. O, Ozzy XD, ja też GF. O, witam cię Ozzy. A nie, zaraz. A nie, bo ty byłeś z nami. Prawie hashtag wytrwamy. Sandra Orion, ja też. GF Lord 12, Raymond 12. W sumie to muszę na GF usunąć, bo ten klan już nie istnieje, tylko nie chce mi się. GF? Co to jest GF? Ja nie umiem korzystać ze skrótów. na szybkie myślenie, bo teraz muszę do was dużo mówić i dużo myśleć, więc nie potrafię szybko ze skrótów korzystać, więc powiedzcie mi, co znaczy GF, jeżeli możecie. Dziękuję.
Yeah, I'd like some Crash Bandicoot VR
Crash
stuff.
Bandicoot VR, yeah?
Yeah, I think
This
that
is
could
a big
work.
year for Crash.
Yeah, Funny Boy's getting a nice remaster, a bunch of trilogies. But yeah, like VR stuff.
Plutekka! Plutekka, siemasz! O 3:00 się zaczyna. Siemasz, Plutekka. Jak się spało? Ozzy XD. No serio? Zapomniałeś o mnie, Maćku? Przepraszam. Po prostu teraz jestem rozmarzony z tym, co mogę zobaczyć na E3. Guardians of the Force, plan Star Wars Battlefront. A! Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII. Remake. Maciek, nie wygłupiaj się. Nie spało, film oglądałem. Jaki, Plutekka? Jaki film oglądałeś? Pochwal się nam. Final Fantasy VII. Wygląda cudownie.
I think it's very possible we'll see more of a focus on Kingdom Hearts. I think Square is trying to kind of rein things in a little bit because they do have the tendency to sort of hype things up and then go into hibernation for a while.
We're just 90 seconds away from the conference.
Daniel Adamik. O rany boskie, wszyscy się nagle zjawiają, jak miło, jak tam nocka minęła XD. Nie przez pana i będziemy oglądać dalej. Mam nadzieję, że będziecie z nami, że będziecie komentować, bawić się, śmiać, uśmiechać i będziecie razem z nami po prostu to przeżywać, co się tutaj dzieje. Mam nadzieję, że będziemy bawić się dobrze. Takie rzeczy tylko na StarWars.pl. I prawdopodobnie, żeby nie było, jesteśmy ponoć jedynym kanałem w Polsce streamingującym o tej godzinie Sony, więc zapraszajcie znajomych, bo czemu nie? Transporting 2. Nie wiem jak to się pisze. Maciek, żyjesz bez energetyków? Żyję. Bo mam zapalenie żołądka i nie mogę pić energetyków dzisiaj. Przestańcie gadać, dajcie mi konferencję. Ozzy XD pisze, Plutek po polsku? Bo ja nigdzie z napisami nie znalazłem.
Something they've been sitting on, and they're like, go get it, go play with it.
30
Go
seconds
get it,
out.
go
One
play
thing
with
we
it.
can say for sure, Sean Layden promised us that Sony will have some big announcements regarding Japanese games. So if it's not Final Fantasy VII,
Trzecia już. Już trzecia, zamknij mordę.
Bloodborne 2.
There we go.
This is it. I honestly think it's gonna happen.
My money's on the table.
Who are these people behind us?
Oh, I think that might be. I think we're queuing up the Sony conference right here. As soon as it begins, we are going to throw you over there. We're just standing by.
I just want to turn around and look at it.
Zaczyna się.
Japanese games last year with Final Fantasy 7 or with Resident Evil 7 with the last
Jeszcze nie? Dajcie mi.
Kingdom Hearts and Final
To
Fantasy
kurde.
stages, so yeah, I would love to see something new, big.
Patrzyłem ostatnio i nie było, więc dzięki wreszcie sobie to obejrzę.
Predictions. When the lights go down, what's the first thing that comes up?
I said
Are we
God of
going?
War.
Are we throwing over there?
Triggered.
We're holding.
No longer with us. We're watching here and here and here.
Zaczyna się.
This is live TV, and we can store more shows than you could ever watch. We can even watch on 5 devices.
Zaczyna się.
All at once. The rules of TV have changed. It's time to change how you get it.
PlayStation.
PlayStation Days of Play with a limited edition gold PS4 at $249, discounted games, and more. It's 9 days of epic deals.
PlayStation. Maniek TV, witam wszystkich ponownie i dawać mi tu Cyberpunk 2077. Witam cię, Maniek TV. Zaczyna się. Zaczyna. Dajcie mi. Dajcie mi. temu zaczynali operowo, a teraz zaczynają w taki sposób. I pewnie tą muzyką zaczną Unchartedem. Że zaczną od dodatku Uncharteda. Tak pewnie będzie. Bo rok temu zaczynali muzyką chóralną i skończyło się na God of Warze, który zaczął wszystko. I teraz pewnie taką muzyką zaczną Uncharteda. A nie, to Asasynem? Asasynem zaczną? Wygląda to trochę na Asasynem. Chyba Asasynem. Mhm. Nie, Uncharted, Uncharted. Wiedziałem, że to będzie Uncharted. Uncharted, fuck yeah. Uncharted. 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 Tylko audio jakoś słabe, nie słyszę nic. Zajebiste. Guerrilla Games. Czyżby dodatek fabularny? Do tego, do Horizon? Chyba tak! No! Spoiler. O mój Boże! To będzie ten, o tym motocykliście w świecie zombie.
Squatters up high. We've got to get some men together, go after them. They've got command. You said the man has firing. I just want the empty. I'll tell folks how to live their lives.
Pewnie znowu pokażą nam masę zombiaków na tym trailerze, tak jak to było ostatnio. Patrzcie na to, jak to wygląda!
Let's do this. Yeah? You want some of this? Yeah.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Daddy's gone! Daddy's gone!
That's Manny's bike.
O, jakiś nowy tryb. Będzie jakimś łowcą. Boże, jakie to jest piękne. Jak to wygląda. Widzicie tę scenę? Tam to jest takie teatralne teraz od Sony. To jest kura znosząca złote jaja.
What the hell is wrong? Why do you have? You always have a bad attitude.
I have a bad attitude.
You have a bad attitude. Just don't talk.
Yes, better.
Żebyście widzieli, co się dzieje w komentarzach. Kuźwa, jak zapierdzielają w live czacie.
He's not being that loud.
Ja pierdzielę.
Okay, I want all of you to shut the hell up. What is your problem?
Oh, shh. There's something out there.
Just a
Stop! God! No, my leg! Get it off! Get it off! Easy, fellas. There he is. Still alive. How the hell am I?
Przebudzić wilki. Spuścić psy wojny. Release the Kraken.
Oh yeah. Gonna get it. Dinner time. Drop him! Now! Or I'll kill him!
Do it. I'm not here for him. I'm here for you. Oh, God. Take. Hi, Danny. Hey. So, do it. Yeah, you do. Oh, come on. I wasn't gonna let him kill you. Besides, who the hell else around here knows how to rebuild a carburetor?
O Jezu.
Just back up. Nice and slow. Don't make a sound.
O Jezu.
Please
Dzięki,
welcome to the
dzięki.
stage Sean Layden.
Teraz możesz mówić co chcesz, stary, naprawdę. Polejcie temu panu, polejcie mu.
Welcome. Welcome. Good
Welcome.
evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends. This is your 2017 PlayStation Showcase. Thank you for coming tonight. Naughty Dog Gorilla Ben, out of control. I thought this opening was completely insane, and because I had to walk under zombies to get on the stage just now. They didn't even tell me about that last night. We're glad to be here. We're delighted to be here. We have a full show ahead of us, so let's just agree that we love games and we want to see more of them tonight. It's all about the games.
Panowie i
Every
panie,
year
a
we
to
continue to
dopiero
push the envelope
początek.
of storytelling, imagination, and technology. And 2016 was no exception. Virtual reality is now a real consumer product, and our consoles are more powerful than ever, offering 4K and HDR options. We'll take a moment for that. With the launches of PlayStation VR and PS4 Pro, PlayStation once again stood at the forefront of bringing these technologies to the world of interactive entertainment. And now, in 2017, it continues to be all about the games. In the past few months alone, have given us some of the most creative, high-quality, and engaging video games ever seen. Horizon Zero Dawn. Neo. Resident Evil 7, MLB The Show, Persona 5. And yet, we have an even broader, more diverse selection of blockbuster games coming soon. You will see, that's the plan, right? You will see tonight that Worldwide Studios is bringing you the exclusives you want, and through our strategic partnerships with third-party partners, PlayStation is home to all the biggest and best franchises in the world.
Nowy kombat na
There's
VR.
never been a better time to be a gamer. Thank you all our fans, all of you, for your support and for making PlayStation one of the most loved brands in the world.
Po takich zapowiedziach, takie konferencyjne pierdzielenie nawet mi nie przeszkadza.
For being here tonight.
Masz mój
As we open
portfel, człowieku.
E3 and celebrate the world of games, this week is our web portal. We have a web portal this week. Live.playstation.com will serve as the home for hours of programming, including developer walkthroughs, Q&A sessions, in-depth conversations, and so much more. But tonight, let's recognize the art of gameplay with a showcase of the most anticipated titles here at E3. So, without further ado, let's get back to the games.
Whoa! Zajebiste.
Before I step off, it's my personal pleasure and a privilege to share with you now a title that has a rabid cult following around the world and has a very special place in my heart. Please enjoy.
Gotowor? A co to? A co to? Jak broń wygląda mi trochę jak Bloodborne 2, ale nie. Pewnie jakieś nowe IP. Jak myślicie, co tam może być? Przepraszam, muszę plecy wyprostować. Fajnie to wygląda. Zajebiste. Fajnie, mi się to podoba. Dobry. Bloodborne. A nie. Ale Japan Games, to może Bloodborne 2. Czyżby dodatek do The Last Night? Czy jakoś tam nazywa? Nie. Wygląda epicko. Cholernie epicko. Czy to będzie ten Shadow of the Colossus? Tylko remake?
All biological life must be exterminated.
Co to jest? To na dla dzieci.
Get us out of here!
To jest to! To jest to z Capcomem! To jest Marvelem!
Ultron Sigma has 2 of the Infinite Six.
Gamora, we have Thanos. He raised you as his own. Convince him.
Have you come to beg for my help?
You have no choice. Help us.
Release me, and I will give you what you want.
Give us cause to trust you. Help us to
A nie,
find
to jest
the
Capcom
Infinity
vs
Stones.
Marvel.
Very well. The stone of
Bijatyka
power
jakaś.
lies
Chyba.
at the heart of no rule. Bear witness to the death of your world.
Zero? His core routines have been rewritten by the Grandmaster. Nova, Major, get to the core.
The Time Stone has concealed itself beyond time. Valkonda needs its king.
We had a dream. Our 2 diseased realities united to form a single perfect universe. Will you not bow before your god?
You are no god.
You have your diversion. Make it count. No, wait!
Ninjas.
O!
Dante, can the ladies come out to play?
Be good.
Ebony, Ivory, care to dance?
Boskie.
Man, I thought I'd seen everything. We're in a whole new world. Now we're gonna find out what you're really made of.
Call of Duty?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty! Call of Duty! Call of Duty!
Call of Duty! Mercy in this land.
Wreszcie II wojna światowa.
Have no mercy in this land. And it come and go out, and it won't stay long. You look in bed, somebody's gone. Have no mercy in this land.
Time to show what you're made of, soldier.
mercy in this land.
Dzięki, wreszcie Activision za II wojnę światową. Dzięki. Dzięki. Wielkie. Jest wiara. No nie. No nie. No nie, Skyrim? Skyrim na VR! Jak myślicie, co to może być ta gra? Co może być ta gra? Cyberpunk XD. Dobra. Skyrim na VR. Tak pierońsko wielka gra na VR. Można? Można.
Roll the tape. I'd like to try it again.
Exclusive.
Well, the sun ain't shining in a dark and cloudy day. Well, the sun ain't shining in a dark and
To będzie ten
cloudy
Detroit?
day.
Cały? A nie, to jest od tego, od Until Dawn. To jest gra od Until Dawn. Pewnie znowu jakiś horror.
Just a nightmare.
Got him! No! Get me out of there!
Try to visualize the rest
Twarzy po sali.
before you came here. You understand I want what's best for you.
Get your booty on home to me.
Nie wiem o co chodzi, ale mam nadzieję, że to horror. Final Fantasy.
No i ja!
Final Fantasy. Co, i to jest cała gra? Łowienie ryby? Fajna gra. Ale fajna gra. Będziemy łowić ryby w finalu. Czemu nie? Bo wszyscy czekali na Final Fantasy VII i dostali Monster in Deep. O, kolejny ekskluzyw. Znowu od twórców Until Dawn.
Okay, enemy ahead. All right, you ready? Engage! Cover me. Enemy on the front.
Już lepiej. Symulator łowienia ryb. Ta gra odmieni moje życie. Lord Raymond 12. Będziemy w tej grze motylem? Oryginalnie. Boże, jakiś baobab jak z muminków. To uczucie, kiedy czekasz tylko na starą Spidermana, a pewnie dadzą to na koniec. Podobały mi się takie gry dla dzieci. Tylko nie podoba mi się to, że to będzie na VR, kiedy dziecko jeszcze nie powinno się przyzwyczajać z VR-em. Co to było? Albo ekskluzyw. Ekskluzyw, tak, ekskluzyw.
Are you gonna do it? You said I was cursed. You think I'm weak because I'm not like you.
You do not know everything, boy.
No. But at least I know the truth now.
The truth.
Hang on, boy!
Okay!
The truth.
Long way from home, aren't you? And here I thought your kind was supposed to be so enlightened, so much better than us.
The gods of these realms don't take kindly to outsiders, trust me. When they find you, and they will, they'll make things difficult.
Wait here. I will handle this.
Boże! Mój Boże! Mój Boże!
Wow, that was something, that fight.
On our journey, we will be attacked by all manner of creature. To be effective in combat, a warrior must not feel for his enemy. Close your heart to their desperation. Close your heart to their suffering. The road ahead is long and unforgiving. No place for a boy. You must be a warrior.
But not everyone is bad. Mother always said to be open to those who can help.
Who you were before doesn't matter. This boy is not your past, he is your son. And he needs his father.
What is this?
It's the world serpent.
Stay calm, boy!
I am!
What is it saying?
He wants to help us!
Oni już wygrali z Microsoftem, już dawno wygrali z Microsoftem, ale teraz kolejny ekskluzyw. Biorę. Detroit, teraz będzie Detroit.
Hold on, just a little while longer. Hold on, just a little while longer. Hold on.
just a little while longer.
Dajcie mi datę tej gry, naprawdę.
Everything will be alright.
Bo nie wiem, czy zauważyliście, ale na razie nie dostaliśmy ani jednej daty. Dostaliśmy tylko Early 2018 i tyle.
This is a night our people will remember. There are 5 CyberLife stores across Detroit. We're going to attack those stores and set our people free.
That's what we are to them. Just merchandise on display in a shop window. Let's get them out.
We'll stick to the plan. Neutralize the alarm systems and secure the area. There's 10 minutes until all our teams attack. You're awake now.
Marcus, watch out.
You are committing a Class 3 offense. This infraction is being reported to the police.
Shit.
We gotta go.
What? We can't just leave our people behind.
It's too late. If we stay here, we're gonna get shot. North. Our people need us alive. There's nothing else we can do.
Marcus! Shit.
Take cover. We are superior to them, but they are our masters? That's about to change.
To mi się podoba.
I'm gonna send the humans a message. My name is Marcus, and just like you, I was a slave. But then I chose to open my eyes, to take back my freedom, and decide who I wanted to be. Now I have come to tell you that you can be your own masters. We're with you!
I'll follow you, Marcus.
I'm with you, Marcus.
I'll follow you, Marcus. Then follow me.
We interrupt this broadcast with breaking news.
Ale widać lekki downgrade w porównaniu z tym, co było 2 lata temu.
In the neighborhoods of CyberLife stores.
Given the facts, it's pretty clear these attacks are linked to the deviant video message broadcast recently from the Stratford Tower.
Different locations were hit in what seems to be a coordinated attack.
This is an alarming situation. Could our machines now be turning against us?
Violence is the only language humans understand.
Numerous storefronts have been broken, with cars vandalized and set alight, leaving many Detroit neighborhoods in chaos.
We're getting reports that hundreds of androids have been stolen from CyberLife stores. Property was damaged, and fires continue to rage in several major districts across the city.
Some people are asking, have androids become a threat to our security?
They're coming.
This way!
North! North. All right, what happened?
They slaughtered them like animals.
Who did? My name is Marcus. I am one of them. This is our story.
Data premiery. Nie było.
Welcome to a world without light.
Co za gra? Bungie? Activision? A, ten Destiny, czy jak to się tam nazywa, pewnie druga część.
Conquered worlds, waged war across the galaxy to prove my worth. I alone am worthy of the traveler's light. You're not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death. Allow me to reacquaint you.
O, przynajmniej jedna data premiery. September. Pytacie, ile będzie trwać ta konferencja? Konferencje Sony trwają właśnie tak do 2 godzin max, czy coś w tym stylu. Tak 2 godziny, 1,5. Czasem nawet 2,5 trwały, ale to było podczas premiery w PlayStation 4.
Please welcome back to the stage Sean Layden.
Patrzcie, ile gier wyszło, a dopiero teraz drugi raz będzie gadana. Kogoś. To się nazywa jazda.
Okay, everybody, just breathe. Yes. That was quite the roller coaster ride for the last 60 minutes. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. The future is here and it is now with PlayStation 4 Pro and PSVR.
Co to już
We could
koniec?
not be more excited than to kick off E3 2017, celebrating the content and the creators who make PlayStation the best place to play for gamers. Now, let me leave you with a true PlayStation exclusive, a true exclusive from PlayStation, from one of the industry's most respected developers. Let me thank you again for coming tonight. A shout out to my courageous friend Ronil Mehta for struggling on through. And now, everyone, please enjoy the ride.
The Last of Us 2. Co to jest?
All units, 1010S at 36 and Park. Repeat, all units be advised. Shots fired at Fisk Towers.
Spider-Man!
Yuri, I'm here.
What do you see?
Find the rest. Boss wants them dead.
Looks like the demons are moving in on Fisk's territory.
Boże, jak to pięknie
You got
wygląda.
this?
I got this.
Boże, wiedziałem, że ci ludzie zrobią coś z pajęczyną, że to nie będzie zwykłe strzelanie, że to będzie coś więcej. Patrzcie, co oni tu robią.
You don't need to kill us too.
Zysk's territory is ours now.
Not today.
Spider-Man! Tell the boss is here!
Jeszcze walka jak z Batmana! Day one! Day one! Kurwa! Day one!
Hey, Willie.
You.
Nice jumpsuit. Slimming.
Stay out of my business.
Wait, the demons. Who's their leader?
Keep my men alive and maybe I'll tell you.
Saving bad guys from other bad guys. Not how I thought today would go. Hey, big guy. Is that a Higgs field? That's actually really cool. Fisk, your men are safe. Your turn. Who runs the demons?
You're about to find out. Check the roof.
He's here?
Powinien był przepierdzielić pajęczynę jak ten... śmigła, wtedy było lepiej.
No! Let's go! Did that just happen? Yeah.
Talk.
I'm getting reports about a helicopter with a wrecking ball.
It's complicated. Turns out Martin Lee is running the demons.
The guy who runs the homeless shelter?
Like I said, it's complicated. Sit tight, Yuri. I got this. Please, let me got this.
That helicopter is destroying the city.
I know.
You need to bring it down.
I know.
Maybe you could superhero a little faster?
Working on it, Yuri. Too close. Okay, Lee, here I come! Hi, is this the flight to Newark? Why are you doing this?
Because no one else will!
Lee, this is crazy! This isn't you!
You don't know me!
Need a plan. Plan real fast. Guess this is the plan! Come on, Pete, you got this! You got this, you got this, you got this! Please don't screw this up! Mr. Lee?
Kolejny ekskluzyw. Koniec? Nie ma The Last of Us?
That's supposed to happen?
To już koniec. Nie było ani Gwiezdnych Wojen, ani The Last of Us. Nie było The Last of Us.
It was a good day. Oh, what a good day. But it is long gone now when all the stars fell down. It was a good day. Oh, what a good day. That day you broke my heart. I loved you way too hard. Now I'm free.
Nie było ani jednej daty premiery, ani jednej daty premiery żadnego ekskluzywa.
It's over. Come on, dude, let's go.
To jeszcze nie koniec?
Miles.
Czy już koniec? O, Miles! Znaczy nie.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3. I'm Damon Hatfield, and you just saw Sony's E3 press conference for 2017. There's a lot to go through, so once again, we have Lucy O'Brien, Marty Sleva, and Max Scoville.
That was one of the most fast-paced conferences. Sean Layden appeared twice.
Yeah, they didn't announce a new Porsche or anything. It was crazy.
Yeah, and it was just game after game after game.
Co mogę wam powiedzieć tak na szybko, zanim skończę tego live'a, bo chcę już iść spać. To był, tak jak powiedział gościu, to była chyba najszybsza konferencja jaka była. Gość, który prowadził konferencję, pojawił się tylko 2 razy, powiedział parę słów i sobie uciekał, a normalnie pokazali nam gry i ogólnie pokazali nam strasznie dużo fajnych gier i to takich zajebistych gier, od razu mnie kupili i od razu mają mnie, tyle że po prostu ja chciałem dostać Gwiezdne Wojny, Red Dead Redemption, The Last of Us, Final Fantasy. O Cyberpunku już w takim razie nie mówię, ale no nic nie było. Jedyne co tak naprawdę bardzo chciałem dostać to Days Gone, God of War i Spider-Man i to dostałem. Ale faktem i tak to była najlepsza konferencja jaka w ogóle jest, tylko po prostu ja mam takie lekkie rozczarowanie. Ale i tak była zajebista ta konferencja, naprawdę, była naprawdę zajebista. Dobra, żeby nie było, zapraszam was na kanał StarWars.pl, zapraszam was na moją grupę na Facebooku Drużyna Szerszenia, zapraszam oczywiście na kanał Nowe Uniwersum, na którym dzisiaj zrobię, jeżeli nie dzisiaj to jutro, bo jestem strasznie zmęczony, zrobię podsumowanie i konferencji Ubisoftu i konferencji Sony, także zapraszam was bardzo serdecznie, widzimy się już niedługo, do zobaczenia. Pa, dzieciaczki, wy moje dziewice orlańskie.